shields. Look at his tires. Oh my god.
This is a drag car.
It's a drag car, yeah.
Yeah. Look at the back. Look in the back seat. Well, quote unquote back seat.
No, it's all nitrous out.
Holy shit.
This thing was crazy.
Dyno day. Pretty sick though.
I've never seen one of these before.
I've actually never seen one of these in my life.
Put something up in there. And
fucking
here,
crazy.
put some pants, you know, stack them up.
I think it's Excel now. It used to be Fine Works Automotive, and they do a lot of maintenance, repairs, and tuning on luxury cars, as you can see. A bunch of Ferraris, a bunch of Corvettes. There's PJ's Ferrari. He's getting it dyno tuned today.
We're gonna run this one first, get a baseline for it, and then we're gonna actually load our tune in it. But this we do all by ourselves. Like it's
Got it, your own?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
all off laptop base.
Sweet.
Basically what we do is take computers, you open them up. So you open them up, see the board, you jump the board. Once you jump the board, you then extract the file out of it, you get the drivers for it, then we put the computers back together, and then we can go through the OBD and we can program in the car.
Horsepower goal?
Yeah, I mean, basically the base tune that we're going to load on this thing after we do this is just a baseline run, which is pretty much stock plus his exhaust. He's got the full exhaust on the car. So we're going to do a baseline run right now. It should come in somewhere between 565 and 580 wheel horsepower.
Wheel horsepower.
Give or take because of the exhaust. Then we're going to load our first can tune, which is just software for a stock car. No exhaust, no anything. As soon as we're done with that, we're going to dyno it again. You should pick up probably somewhere in the 40 to 45 horse range. Then we're going to keep the car till the end of today, and we're going to tune it for a car with complete exhaust, sport filters, the same setup that this vehicle has. And then that should hopefully get him up to like the 640, 650 wheel horsepower.
And then the difference, not wheel horsepower, just straight
drivability difference
would be
will
what?
be night and day.
Yeah.
You're going to see on the dyno curve, your power starts to come up, it'll have a nice little dip in it, and then it'll start to climb again. We're going to tune that right out so it basically is dead flat all the way to redline. And it'll make the drivability a lot nicer. It makes it a whole new car. You know, it really changes.
And this car is already the best car ever.
Yeah, it really changes how the vehicle drives and, you know, its characteristics and its throttle response. It's a very, very good option. And something like this on pretty much any Ferrari, McLaren, Lamborghini, it'll run you about 2,500 bucks with the dyno pulls, the baseline, you know, the after the tune. We run it again so you can actually see, hey, this is what you're paying for. You're not just buying something from somebody who the hell knows where, and they go, yeah, it made 50 horsepower. How do you know? If you never get it before and after, what do you know? So now we can at least say, hey, here's what it is, this is what it makes, this is why it does it, and we can go from there.
We're gonna get the SLS on here today. For those of you who never saw the racing video, Rob did everything on the SLS. That was the car we raced in Ocala. We had a fun time up there. Ran that thing like crazy. I got that in the back. We have the Hellcat here. The Corvette smashed the tire the other day. So there's no Corvette right now. But it's okay. We got the top dogs on here.
He's all up to he's ready to go.
Here we go.
Ready for our baseline pull.
You're so excited.
That's amazing. Mikey, who's doing the wraps over here, told me he said he'll be happy when this is done because he said it's the loudest car they've had in here. It's distracting him.
Pull really strong. You can see right here, it comes up, it has a loop. It comes up, power drops, comes back up, climbs, and then towards red line, starts to fall. That's any and every car. So right now you're making 458 torque and 580 horsepower, which is strong.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the car should make with the exhaust. You're like I said, between 560 and 585 is about what you're going to make.
To the wheels,
yeah, to the wheels. Now, that's a 730 motor horsepower car, plus the exhaust, you might pick up another 20, 25 peak. So now, when we tune it, and this again is just going to be a standard can tune for a stock F12, we still got some tweaking to do, which will be done by the end of today for a full bolt-on car like yours is.
You think we'll get another 25, 30 horsepower out of this?
This thing will probably make 640 to 650 wheel by the time we're done. So
that's awesome. We get 640 to the wheel on this bitch.
Let it cool down a little bit. He's gonna load the can tune right now. So that's Jay. He's gonna do his magic. He's the brains behind the operation.
All right.
You might have a breakdown behind the wheel, like just cry.
Well, anyone who's down here, whether it's down in Miami or even West Palm or even an hour, 2 hours north of here, even if you're in Orlando, like this is where you should come to be getting all your stuff done. You know, it's the best of the best.
Make some noise and hopefully some power.
I'm like, oh shit.
That's another gonna happen.
Like this guy, I look over and he's like, he says this. I'm like, oh.
How are your ears?
That was like slow pressure.
And 20 pound-feet of torque. And you see how much smoother everything is now. Now when it starts to climb on power, it stays on power. It doesn't have that tail end drop off. It stays in the power band the whole time. So now,
And that was just
software.
That's software.
And that's a basic, and that's meant for a bone stock F12. That's not even for yours, which is a full bolt-on car. But that's the difference right there. And you'll see the difference in drivability now when you're driving this car. You see your torque line comes up and stays pretty much flat before it comes off. Same with your horsepower. Now it stays high before it was dropping off. So now that's where you're making a very, very big difference in the drivability. You know, horsepower is great, but horsepower is not everything when it comes to the drivability of the car. So we still got some tweaking to do. By the end of the day, we'll get you some more out of this thing. But
power, about 155.
All right, they got the SLS strapped up. See what this does. How was that noise?
It was drumming.
crazy how hard that pulls compared to the Ferrari, isn't it? That's torque. A lot of it. I made 600 wheels.
So crazy.
So, see what this is right here? It has the power comes up. They kind of lay it down a little bit for torque management, and then they bring it right back. So it doesn't kill the box. It doesn't kill the gearbox. So we're going to get in and play with it a little bit. We'll be able to tune some of that out. That was the same problem that the Ferrari had. They do it for torque management for the gearboxes to not kill them. So, not that it's going to break it, but we'll get some of this out of here, and then it won't have to climb as high.
Yeah.
You know, when you pull out, so they're knocking timing out of the motor here, and then they're putting it back in. Well, if you took that same run from here, you'd probably make about 650.
What is this right here? This last number with the RPMs?
Yeah, that's just the RPM where it's measuring the max torque.
Okay.
Was 3,780 RPM. Then it made its max torque, which is right over here. So that's why when you hit this thing, it feels so fast right away.
Yeah.
It's big torque. And the torque stays smooth, but the horsepower climbs.
Much different than the Ferrari.
Yes, it's a whole. This is as similar to like a. This is the gap between a Corvette or a Hellcat and a Ferrari. You're right in the middle. It runs similar, but with a lot more power.
This is your baby.
This one's gonna win it all.
I doubt it. I'm curious what the difference is, because it's got to manually shift it. Manually shift it. Does it affect it a lot?
Well, no, you just a lot of times you'll dyno it in a different gear, depending on what the gear is. Like you're normally 1-to-1 is 4th gear.
Yep.
In most 6-speed cars, on like your SLS, it's 5th gear, and same with the F12. This, because it's a manual, 1-to-1 is actually 4th. The difference on a manual, you will actually lose less power to the rear wheels on a manual versus an automatic. Not a monumental amount, but there is less powertrain and drivetrain loss when it's a manual transmission versus an auto. The danger of having a 7-speed with a car that makes 800 horsepower, 700 horsepower, you're going so fast on this. You know, even though it's not moving, it's still doing 150, 160 miles an hour. Like the new Vets in automatic, the C7s, C7Zs, when they're in autos, we got to dyno them in 6th, because that's 1-to-1. You're doing almost 200 miles an hour by the time you back off.
Damn, that's crazy.
And that's fast, staying in still.
Yeah.
Even though the car's not moving, it's strapped down, everything's good, you still got to watch it.
No way. It does?
America!
Holy fuck! Look at that shit, dude. At 644? Holy! Now the F12 will make that. We'll get the F12 into the 640 range.
Dude. Holy.
Look at the torque though, yeah.
Holy
Look at the torque.
shit. That is crazy, dude.
Cool.
I told you this car is insane.
Cool.
So here's the deal. I would never get rid of my Ferrari. It is my baby. But this, I've told people about the Hellcat, which is my dad's car, not mine. Gave it to my dad. This is insane. Look at the torque. This is no tune. This is just, that's how I got it.
That's out of the box.
Out of the box.
Yeah, you know, you end up doing that, and then the other problem you have is the blowers. Oh, the blower bearings go bad.
The Hellcat did the most power to the wheels, which is a little bit of a surprise actually over the other two. Now that doesn't mean it is as quote unquote fast as the Ferrari. It just got crazy power. It's hard to keep this thing on the road, which is why my dad drives it, because he's a lot more responsible than I am. But we are gonna tune the Ferrari now. So Jay is the master. He's the guy, and that's why we're doing all this stuff. We're gonna see what we get out of the F12 in the end. And he says that him and Rob say the F12 will actually put up better numbers than what we just saw with this Hellcat. So we'll see. We'll see after the tune what we get. So stay tuned. It'll be a couple days before we get it all done. But it was a fun day. It was a very fun day. Who doesn't like cars going fast, right?